We are a society that values fast tracking our grief in order to get back to normal. But what I want you to consider is that what has happened to you is important enough to have a slow and a profound impact. Therefore, it will call for a slow and profound response. So today, we will explore the myth of getting over your grief. I'm Jo McRogers, a therapist dedicated to doing grief differently. The concept of rushing through our grief is a dangerous path. The goal is not to get over your grief. Grief is a process, not a state. Number one, getting over your grief. Please do not set this as a goal. This is a recipe for more trauma and prolonged sadness. Getting over grief is a lie. I ask my clients to imagine living their life with their grief, not over their grief. Grief is a process. It's not a static state. It is not a matter of grieving or not grieving. We need to imagine the possibility of living and loving fully with our grief. Not because of, not in spite of, or not through our grief. And this is a big ask, and it's counterintuitive to the immediate thought of, I just need to get over this and get back to normal. And I believe that finding how to live with your grief is the authentic way to honor the person that you love who has died, and to honor who you are now with this loss in your life. The long-term goal is to find joy, love, and connection and purpose in our lives with our grief. Let me know in the comments if you feel that you are living through your grief, and tell us how you would like to change this. Number two, grief is a process, and I know that this is a massive ask while grieving, but please allow in the questions. Practice grace, patience, and courage with the answers. And what I mean by this is please resist the temptation to rush through or to force yourself through your grief. Please bring some curiosity. It's a huge ask. Wish to learn more. Use questions like, I am acting and feeling angry, but is that what I'm really feeling? Or I'm feeling sad, but there is more to it. Use the feelings wheel to help identify the feeling. And then, if we were working together, I might ask you, when and where have you felt this feeling before? Because grief has this barbed hook of dredging up old emotional experiences and patterns. But that's for a future video. Let me know if you'd like to hear more about how our past shows up in our grief. But for today's video, short or non-existent bereavement leaves from work, others' discomfort with our pain, and just how much immense emotional work grief is, tells us to just get through, over, and beyond our grief. So please share in the comments if you have felt this pressure to just tough your way through your grief as quickly as you could. And let us know, did that work for you? This is such a common grief experience. I want to normalize it by a show of hands in the comments below. And finally, number three, grief is not meant to be done alone. But because we often seek support from family and friends whose main objective, understandably, is to stop our pain, their love and care doesn't always feel on point. So please seek objective support for your grief. Stop looking for answers from friends, family, and social media. Find the objective way that works for you to look for both the right questions and then to seek the productive answers. Individual therapy, peer support therapy, art therapy, group therapy, grief yoga, somatic therapy, equine therapy if you love horses or hate horses, journaling and writing courses, breath work. Grief will fill your head with thousands of questions and quests. And this comes from our intellectual need to know, but knowing may not be possible where grief is. So please seek objective questions that help you to be with your grief. I've created several ways to work together that are formed on this basis of finding the right questions and seeking the right answers. So please find more information about this in the comments below. And I hope you found value in these suggestions today. And even if you don't work with me, then I'm asking you to please consider seeking support for your grief. Grief is not meant to be done alone. However, as you seek ways and means to be with your grief, to live and love fully with your grief, I send you kind thoughts, kind words, and a kind heart. Thank you and take good care.